I don't know if it's a good or a bad idea, but I asked some of my followers on Instagram the other day to ask me their burning beauty community questions. So I have about 15 questions that I'm gonna give you the unfiltered raw truth about while trying some gummy sushi. This video might ruffle some feathers, but oh well. Okay, so fun fact about me, I cannot handle any type of seafood, don't like it at all, but I wanted to try this gummy sushi because I do have a sweet tooth, so I was like, this works for me. Also, if you're wondering why my hair is currently frosted, it's because I tried a new setting spray and it completely covered me in white powder. I salvaged my makeup, not the hair, and I'm not redoing it, sorry. So although I don't know what any of this stuff is, I'm just gonna try to eat it, and we're gonna get started with question number 1, and we're gonna eat, I think this is like what, like a snap pea? Okay, the question is, who do you hate watch on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc.? Okay, while I would love to give you an answer that you all could like take and run to Reddit with, nobody. I have so very little free time as it is, and all I do is spend my entire day, night, everything in between, working on myself, my content, my world, my business. I don't have time to even watch my friends' content most of the time, let alone people I don't like. So unfortunately, I can't give you a real juicy answer for that one. Okay, the next question is, what was your first viral video and how do you feel about it now? That one's good, it's crunchy. It's like a Nerds rope ball. I believe my first viral video was actually a reaction video on TikTok. I was reacting to my bestie Caitlin, aka KK Michelle Beauty. She's doing a beautiful makeup transformation. I reacted to it, and that was my first video to hit 1 million views. How do I feel about it now? Amazing. I'm proud of it. I mean, it's just a reaction video, but I was excited to be able to showcase her amazing talent and abilities to an additional 1 million people just by making reaction videos. So I love that for both of us, honestly. Okay, next question is, I recently got into filming with no pants on. Are you on that train? Ooh, this one's good. This is like basically licorice. I mean, if you want to film with no pants on and that's what helps you get those creative juices flowing, by all means, you do you. You don't know what I'm wearing from like here down. But no, I'm not on that train. Sorry. Okay, besides Manny MUA, what celebrity or influencer would you love to have a one-time hot fling with? How dare you make that assumption about him and me? I mean, okay, yes, is Manny a very beautiful man? Sure he is. Unfortunately, I'm married. Oh my God, I said unfortunately. Sorry, Joey, that's not what I meant. No, I would not have a one-time hot fling with anyone. In a world where I wasn't married and could do whatever I want and was a promiscuous person, no hate if you're promiscuous, I'm just not. But if it would be anyone, it would probably be Brendan Acker. He is the owner of the Fix skincare company. It's an amazing company, and he's like, real kind of sexy. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, the next question is, if you could have anyone do your makeup, who would it be? Okay, that's a super easy answer. That would be Angelica Torres, aka Candy Lover 89. She's an incredible makeup artist. She's an incredible influencer. She's an incredible singer. She's an incredible person. Like all around, she's just absolutely phenomenal. And I would give anything to have her do my makeup. If I had to pick like a number 2 person, it would absolutely be Patrick Starr. His glam makeup is off the charts, and I would love to see what I would look like once he touched my face. Okay, I'm gonna like just tear some of this stuff apart so I have like more options. But the next question is, how do you deal with people that make up stories about you or others? Now, if you asked me this question like 3 years ago, I'd been like, call them out, prove them wrong. Like, you're not gonna lie on me, I won't tolerate it. If you ask me now, I don't care. Period. I really don't. I'm far too busy. I create content for every single platform, every single day, basically. I own and run my creator academy. I work full time for cosmetics companies as a social media coordinator and social media manager. I have retainer deals where I'm making UGC for them. Like, I have so much going on, plus trying to live my life outside of work and my marriage and remodeling my home. I don't have time. So if you're one of those people that is that bored in life that you have to make up stories about other people, like, that says a lot about you and it says nothing about me. I'm actually gonna keep eating this one because it's literally so delicious. It's like one of those little sour rope things. I don't even know what they're called, but they're like really, really, really good, and I love it. Next question is a juicy one, and it's, why won't you use ColourPop products anymore? If you've been here for a hot second, you already know the answer to this. If you're new here, hi, I used to be a social media coordinator for ColourPop. And this is kind of like a compound question because, one, I won't use their products anymore just out of principle because of how they treated me. And because in general, if you're gonna hire an employee, you should treat them with respect and dignity. You shouldn't especially hire someone who you know is a creator. Take their contacts, resources, strategies, information, etc., and then treat them like trash and throw them to the side. So that's all I'll say about that. Additionally, I wouldn't want to use their makeup products now just because I know behind the scenes what they do. when creating their products. And all I'm saying is there's a lot of things that a lot of people assume about why products look similar from collection to collection. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, the next question is, why don't you go to influencer events? That's a simple one, because I don't get invited. While I have successes in my own right for sure, I'm not one of those like overly eccentric influencers or creators. I don't like crave attention like some do. I mean, by all means, you do you. You're the one going to parties. You're the one that's probably rich. You're the one that has all this attention and fame. You do you, I'm proud of you. Sure, I don't want that. And to be quite honest, my social anxiety probably wouldn't even allow me to get on a plane to go to an influencer event. I would feel like hardcore imposter syndrome and I would feel like super uncomfortable, I'm sure. If I was going with someone I know, I could handle it, but by myself, I would feel so uncomfortable and out of place. But all that doesn't even matter because I don't get invited. Okay, next question is kind of personal, but do you want kids? No, I've never wanted kids. I've always said, if I just happen to get them, like my husband wants kids, like if we happen to get kids, that's fine. I'm happy to have them, like cool. I'll do a great job. I'll be a great dad. But like, I'm not gonna like go out of my way to like really try to adopt children or have them be like a surrogate or anything. Not my priority. Okay, next question is, let's go back to these things. Actually, I haven't tried one of these yet. Next question is, if you could collab with any brand, who would it be? Makeup and skincare. We'll start with skincare. It would for sure be First Aid Beauty. I'm a massive fan. I've used virtually every product they've ever created. I use them every single day. Love them. Quality, pricing, everything. I just think it's a phenomenal skincare brand. These are kind of good. It's kind of strange, but it's like very cranberry-ish. As far as a makeup brand, I have two. If we're talking indie brand, it would be Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I fully support every single thing that they do. I love every single product. I own every single product. 10 out of 10 business. I love them. The owner is incredible. I would do anything for them. If we're talking a larger brand, I'm gonna say Morphe, and this is where I need a little bit of an explanation. I personally have never had an issue with Morphe products. I have an issue with some of the business decisions Morphe has made, especially for like the retail stores and how they treated employees. I don't agree with that whatsoever, but as far as a brand, I like their products. I have never had an issue with any of them. I've used a massive amount of their products. And anytime they have collaborated with an influencer, which is quite often, they seem to be very, very supportive of those influencers, and they really allow them to bring their dream to life as far as a collaboration is concerned. And I feel like it would allow me a lot of creative freedom to really put together something that really showcases who I am. Okay, so the next question's a really, really good one. It is, have you ever said you liked a product, but you actually didn't? The answer is absolutely hell no. One thing about me is that I was raised to be an honest person and be full of integrity, and that's how I live my life. That's how I create my content. That's how I run my business. I have never ever once even considered saying that I liked a product that I didn't like, or vice versa, because at the end of the day, people are watching me, and not that I'm trying to sell people product, because I don't care if they buy a product from a brand. I'm just doing my job as far as creating content. Even with a paid partnership, my job is just to simply show you a product. Like, I don't care whatsoever if you actually purchase that product. I'm already getting paid. I don't care. But with that being said, I'm not gonna take on a paid partnership for a product that I know I don't like. I'm not gonna take on a paid partnership for a product that sounds like it would be terrible. I care so much about my followers and my subscribers that I would never do something intentionally to make them waste their time or their money. And just because something works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Just because I like it doesn't mean you're gonna like it. And vice versa. Everyone has different opinions and everyone's looking for something different. Everyone has different skin types. It all goes together. But at the end of the day, no, I have never once even considered saying that I liked a product when I actually didn't. I'm not desperate. The next question is also a good one. I know a lot don't, but do you always disclose sponsorships? Absolutely, I do. I feel like I'm one of the few influencers that actually is very vocal about the fact that people need to follow the rules. If I have to follow the rules and disclose things as a paid partnership or a sponsorship, anything like that, so should you. What really irks me is when I know for a fact, and I'm not gonna call people out because I'm not that person, but I know for a literal fact, some of your favorite large TikTok influencers who have taken on paid partnerships flat out denied that it was a sponsorship, but I know for a fact that it was because I was in the same campaign as them. But at the end of the day, it's their career, it's their decisions, and if it comes back to haunt them, it comes back to haunt them. That's on them, not me. But like I said, again, for me, it's so important to be honest with my audience. At the end of the day, they know that making money is part of my job. How do I pay the bills if I don't make money? Also, I think a lot of it comes down to the due diligence that you as a viewer or a social media consumer needs to have. You know, if you're blindly following people and they're, you know, lying about products, or you think that they are, or people are saying that they are because X, Y, and Z, like, put a little bit more effort into paying attention to who you're following and why. Don't just follow them because it's like the popular thing. You know what I mean? Like for me, if you took the time to look through my content and me as a person, you'd know like, oh, that's not something he would do. Because it's not. Like I'm very vocal about disclosing stuff properly. I'm very vocal about following the rules, like I said. So it just doesn't make sense for me that people feel like they need to lie about stuff, because my followers, my subscribers, etc., know that I obviously have to post paid partnerships once in a while as part of my revenue and my income. Like that's just a part of the job. Like I'll never be able to understand why some influencers think that they need to lie about it. Like we all have to get our bag one way or another. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand. All right, the next question is kind of a deep one. get out. It is, do you ever feel like giving up? Yeah, sometimes I do, for sure. Will I give up? No. Why do I feel like I want to give up sometimes? I know a lot of people, myself included, sometimes are like, really stressed and vocal about views being so low on platforms and whatnot. And then I see a lot of comments where it's like,
it's not that important, blah, blah, blah.
It is important. When this is your job, views is one of the important metrics as far as brands wanting to work with you and, just overall growth on social platforms and other opportunities outside of traditional paid partnerships. So for me, like on TikTok right now, unfortunately, my views have dropped over 5 million views a month, and I'm in that weird like 200 to 300, 400, 500, whatever view range, like virtually everyone is. And it's just disappointing when I can look at my TikTok, for example, and see, 220,000 followers. Grateful for every single one. But why is it that 99% of my followers aren't even seeing my content? Like I can see it in the analytics and the data. Like they're not even being shown my content. So that's when creators get frustrated because we put a lot of time and effort and research and dedication into what we're doing. Most of us do at least. And the reward for me is that people actually just get to see it. It's not about the money. It's that I want people to actually enjoy my content and learn something from my content and just have a good time. And if people aren't even seeing the videos I'm putting out, it makes me feel like, what's the point? Why am I spending money upgrading my equipment? Why am I spending money hiring an editor to make my YouTube videos, for example, even better and better thumbnails and all these things? I'm just trying my best to provide the best experience as I can for everyone across all platforms. But when there's such little reward as far as like the viewership and engagement and stuff like that and shares and whatnot, like it makes you feel like, why am I wasting my time? But for me, I'm like, I truly believe that every day there's a possibility that things are going to blow up for you and you could have all these new opportunities, and I've experienced that myself more than a few times. And that's why no matter what, regardless of how low views get, sometimes they dip, they raise, all the things throughout the year, each year, I'm still going to push forward. I'm still going to create content. I'm still going to do what I love, because whether it's 200 people watching a video or 2 million, there are still people that are benefiting from watching my content, and at the end of the day, that means I'm doing my job successfully. Okay, I have 2 questions left. The next one is, do you secretly hate the people you've made amends with? How do you forgive them? Okay, so this is a 2-part question. Do I secretly hate the people I've made amends with? No, I don't. I don't really hate anyone. Okay, maybe there's like 2 people, but that's for personal reasons. How do you forgive them? I truly believe that everyone in this world, myself included, have made mistakes, do make mistakes, and will make mistakes, but that doesn't mean people shouldn't be able to redeem themselves or be given forgiveness. At the end of the day, sometimes people do and say things just to jump on a bandwagon with one of their friends, and then, it gets back to me and I hear about it, and then, most of the time it's just that people get embarrassed that they got caught. They don't really mean what they say, they just kind of were going along with it, and I understand that to an extent. Would I participate in something like that? No, this is not what I'm into. Like, for me, there's quite a few people who were like, oh, I hate Cody, I don't like him, he's this, and that, just because that's what their friend said. Again, people who've never even talked to me or anything like that. And I understand how people like to play games and they like to impress their friend and get along with people, whatever, at the expense of others, which is, it's sad. But so many of those people have done that to me are literally some of my closest friends now, which is wild. And those are the people I've completely forgiven. And I've literally had them say to me, like, they've apologized and been like, I didn't realize that you really were this nice of a person, that you really were a genuine person. Like, I feel bad. And I'm like, it is what it is. We all are younger. When we're younger, we say dumb things, we do dumb things. It is what it is. Water under the bridge. And I move on. And I do mean that. I've not forgiven everyone who's done certain things to me, but I forget about it. And I just move on because it's not worth dwelling. But there are just certain people who have done certain things that I'm just like, until you come to me with a genuine apology, I'm not just going to give you forgiveness because you don't deserve it. And it sounds kind of hypocritical to what I was saying at the beginning, but I'm like, it's when you're repeating the same behavior over and over and over and over. No, until you actually change your behavior and actually make amends, I can't give you that forgiveness. But I can forget about it and move on. The last question is a really good one to end on. How do you feel about cancel culture? Okay, let me explain this one in a hopefully good way. Everyone makes mistakes. I just said that. But if you have a pattern of repeated behavior over and over and over and over, I don't care if you apologize for it. I don't care if you are trying to better yourself. If you keep doing it over and over and over and over in like a short amount of time, like, yeah, you should have repercussions for it. You should be held accountable. I think there's a big difference between cancel culture and accountability culture. I'm 110% for accountability culture. If you do something wrong, you need to be called out for it. You need to fix your pattern of behavior, move forward. But what I don't like is that when certain people have shown that they have genuinely apologized for mistakes they've made, they've genuinely become a better person, and they're doing things to actually show that, their words and their actions align. Those people should be given forgiveness, and you should move on and stop bringing up the past every 5 seconds. Period. If you're someone who has done something wrong and apologized for it, but your actions don't match your words, then yeah, you should continuously be called out about it until you actually change your pattern of behavior or pattern of thinking. I don't like the term cancel culture because it's not that I want to see people's careers get ruined or their lives get shattered or any of these things. That's extreme. Everyone makes mistakes, and usually it's the same people that are, calling out these influencers or celebrities or whatever, that it's kind of like throwing stones at a glass house. Like, you yourself are not that great of a person. I've seen you specifically do horrible things. There's a lot of people in the community I've seen do horrible things that are like calling out bigger influencers for negative things that they've done. And I'm like, worry about your behavior right now. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about someone else. Worry about yourself. Again, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've misspoken. I've accidentally upset people. I've apologized and I made sure that I didn't repeat those mistakes. No one's perfect. The difference is that I didn't have the intentions of actually hurting someone. I didn't go in or say something with the intention of causing drama or hurting someone. You know, people just misspeak. People make mistakes. That's human. But no, I don't believe in cancel culture, but I do believe in accountability culture. And again, if you're someone who just keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over and over, like mistakes, and it's not changing, then yeah, I don't think people should have certain platforms sometimes, because that comes with having power. And if you're someone who's abusing that power, like, it needs to change. So hopefully that made sense. But that is all 15 juicy beauty community questions I had for you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I also enjoyed this gummy sushi. It was delicious. I would say that these little, like, where they go, these ones were my favorite. They're just like sour strips, and I also like these ones. They're kind of cranberry-ish. Those are my favorite. But if there are any other burning questions that any of you have, make sure you drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. I'm one of the few, but that is all. So hopefully that made sense to you. As far as a makeup brand, rude. This video might ruffle some feathers, but oh shit. Okay, so the next question is, what was your first viral video? Oh my god, this is harder than I thought. At the end of the day, you do you, boo. If you want to film and get those juices flowing, if you want to film and get those creative juices going through. Okay, the next question is, what was your first viral video? She is the Latina queen of pop. The next question is a juicy one. It's